Hi everybody and welcome to the Money Man, Money Boy Show. I'm Kevin Ferguson and it's Ollie Keohane. Hey Ollie, how you bud?
Good Kev, good thanks.
Cool. Today we're going to talk about accumulators, what they are and how to place them and how to follow my accumulators, which I'll be keeping track of on my Money Man site. I'll have a one-loss record on all my accumulators, but I don't play accumulators usually. They are an interesting part of betting, and they're premised on the more games that you bet on, the higher the risk, the higher the reward.
Yeah, risky business.
Yeah, of course.
Very enticing, but
you could put an accumulator to buy you a Maserati. I mean,
yeah, exactly. Off 10 rand.
Off 10 rand. Yeah, but an accumulator basically is a bet that goes onto a multiple sporting events that are tied to your bet. So you could bet on every rugby game this weekend, and if you could pick the winner, it goes on to the next game, to the next game, to the next game. Unfortunately, there's no close prizes for close. You either win all of them, or you lose, Unless
you cash out. So that's the other thing is you can,
of course,
if you're sort of winning and you've got, say, 2 games left, you may be able to cash out double of your initial amount, as opposed to like potentially winning, triple or quadruple.
Yeah.
But that's again risky business because you're like, do I cash out and play it safe, or you see that big grand prize and you also don't want to cash out, So.
Yeah, it's like what's that game show? That one where they phone the banker.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Let's make a deal or something like that.
Yeah.
To start with, I've put an accumulator, and anybody following this, you can punch in the code and a link on Facebook. You can click to that; it'll take you straight to the bet that I've made, and it's a small bet. You know me; I'm going to start small and build up, and before I start throwing the Hail Mary passes, I'll look for a couple of smaller bets that return well and have a good probability of coming in. The 2 games I like, which I put my accumulator on, is the Colorado Avalanche. They're playing in the NHL today. They are 1.75 to beat the Arizona Coyotes.
Okay.
Oh, and FC Bayern Munich to win their game today in the Champions League against Barcelona.
Sounds like a good bet. That could be a tough game. I mean, it's always risky with those kind of sides, but I mean, I don't see Bayern getting beaten.
No, they've looked so dominant in the Bundesliga, and for me, Barcelona have looking like a beaten side all year. I mean, they're just not the same team as they were. They're porous in defense. Of course, they can always score at any time, but it hasn't. They're definitely a team on the downward cycle.
What are the accumulated odds on your multi-bet?
Well, I put down 200, and it pays back 712.
Okay.
So, a little tickle. I'll share that with everybody. We'll keep track of my accumulators, and what we want to do is just to get you used to some accumulators. Ollie's wearing a jacket brought to you by Betway, and for whoever gets the biggest whoever lands the biggest accumulator this weekend, we'll give you one of these Betway jackets. So it's a big incentive.
Yeah, I've got a little, well, actually not a little accumulator, probably the biggest accumulator I've done, because I've always they're risky, so I've always sort of put small amounts, on high odds, thinking if one comes off, it accounts for all of the previous 10 that I may have lost. But you mentioned earlier that you can still make an accumulator bet that's got a very probable outcome. If you combine 2 or 3 games, you've done your research. I think where people get it wrong, especially like novice bettors, because I did the same thing when I signed up last year, was you kind of just go win, loss on 10 games. You see like 20,000 rand back on, $100. And then you could get 9 out of those 10 right, and then Liverpool ends up losing to, Watford or whatever. So I think that the best way to
should have cashed in,
exactly. So one of the best ways to do accumulators is you actually go and check specific betting markets. So I'm going to pick a handicap on rugby here. I'm going to pick a total corners on soccer here, and that's how you actually start cleverly putting them together. So I've put down 500 rand on the Highlanders to win outright. I've got a good feeling. I hope I'm not proven wrong.
Oh, you're young. It's probably gas.
Playing at home at Dunedin under the roof. Aaron Smith playing his 150th test. He's been in great form. Ash Dixon, their hooker, playing his 100th. Perinara out for the Hurricanes, I think he's really integral and a bit of a backline reshuffle there. And then I think the Reds have been overvalued. So I've taken the Rebels in my multi-bet as well. So it's just a Rebels outright win, Highlanders outright win, 500 Rand pays back 2,800.
Nice bet, but that's why you're called the money boy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're giving me money man tips last night though. Yeah, I think you made it what
Well,
now,
can you imagine
12?
if I'd have put an accumulator on the 12 NBA games that I picked in a row?
Oh,
And if
that's
you go
insane.
back to last year, I was 4-0 last year on the NBA, so I'm 16 in a row on basketball. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Would you have had the patience though?
well. In fairness, those lines don't get put up because
Yeah.
there's such uncertainty over injuries and stuff like that. So would I have had the patience? No, probably not. But that is one of the keys to doing good accumulative bets: is to look at say the games you want to bet on for the week. Get in there, do your research, and pick a game each day, and just put them into the accumulator. That's the stuff that I'll be doing.
Yeah.
And I'll also be putting up stuff for some lottery type payouts
Yeah,
as well.
I mean, you never know what comes off. I think that's the thing, is if one of those comes off, it arbitrages pretty much every wrong multi-bet that
makes up for it, yeah, for sure.
you've placed.
Yeah, definitely. So there's a code that'll follow this video or be in the video or link to this video, which you can just click to that. It'll take you to my bet. And if you want to make the same bet as I've made or more or less, then feel free. I think it's a good bet. The Blues game's been cancelled, so there's nothing to talk about there.
I don't think there was much to talk about in the first place there.
I don't know. I would like to have seen it, but you know, it's always tough. Be careful this weekend. Tonight, NBA, 2 games. They're absolutely meaningless. So who's going to be less inspired? Who's going to be more of the less inspired teams to go out there and win?
Yeah.
I'll look to see if I can still find value. And you know, when I tipped you that bet last night, I was following the markets in America, just looking to see why they were going up and down.
I'll be online, so I'll be waiting for your...
Yeah. No, I'll certainly tip something over the weekend and in running. So, you know, follow me on Facebook, my Facebook page. What is my Facebook page? Moneyman SA. And my website. What's that one?
Moneyman SA.
Moneyman SA. Fantastic. See, this is why they don't have millennials. This is why they don't have my generation doing that sort of stuff. Anyway, Ollie, best of luck for the weekend. Thanks, and good luck with that accumulator, that 500 Rand accumulator.
You too.
Thank you.